It's supposed to be done. And when it's done, I can finally try to publish it. Well, so just to recap, 5 years ago, I was 100 pages away from finishing the final rewrite of my novel. A month later, I did finish that rewrite. And then 3 years ago, I submitted to my very first publishing house. I never updated you guys on any of that. And I'm so sorry. It is time to update you guys. But first, I want to talk about something. Today is June 6th, and in 1 month, I'm turning 30. Okay, so I've had a bit of a midlife crisis about it, and Jess keeps making fun of me, but I think it's serious because part of me still feels like a broke college kid. But then I see real college kids and I go, I'm not a college kid anymore, but I still feel like that. And I think I finally figured out why. It's because I lost so much of myself trying to hide who I was that I'm trying to recover all the time I lost out on. And so a lot of my 20s, I wasn't authentically living my life. And it's hard to acknowledge that I'm going to turn 30 when I didn't get to experience all of my 20s authentically. Does that make sense? When you hear the words, I'm turning 30, you think you're an adult now, and I don't feel like a full adult yet. I still feel like a kid who's not sure how to be an adult. So I think it's a hard pill to swallow. I'm turning 30. That's so daunting, and it really shouldn't be. But I also think I get into my head and I compare myself to all these people that I know. This person is turning 30 or is already in their 30s, and they've done so much more than I've ever done in my life. This person is still only 20-something, and they've done so much more in their life than I've ever done. You just get in that bubble of comparing yourself to other people when that's not how you live your life. You live your life. And when I step back from that bubble, I realize I am living a really cool life. I'm living my horse girl hobby farm dreams that I never thought that would actually happen, and here we are. I'm living with the person that I love. I'm in a warmer state. I'm not in Minnesota anymore. Like, when I step back and stop comparing my life to other people, I realize that I'm actually very happy with where I'm at. But it's so easy to compare yourself, right? So easy. I think I just need to step back from the whole I'm turning 30 and go, this is just another decade in my life, and there's so much more that can happen in that decade. I don't know what's going to happen. There's so much that's happened since we moved here that I never expected to happen. So there's so much possibility, and that's the lens you have to look at it through. Now, how does this all tie into the update I'm going to give you? Well, when I finished my final rewrite and when I started submitting to publishing houses, I made myself a promise. I said I want to get this published by age 30, so I wouldn't put it off, so I wouldn't get myself in that dark space of this is never going to happen. I said, we're going to publish this by 30 and it's going to work out. I may not be holding the published book by the time I turn 30 next month, but I've signed the contract before I turn 30, so I think that counts. You heard that right. I have signed my fantasy series, The Snook Saga, to Gold Dust Publishing, a local LGBT+ owned publishing company that I saw at Pride, and I told Jess, I have a really good feeling about this one. And I guess I was right, because it's all gonna work out, and I'm so excited. This is a project that I've been working on for nearly 20 years. I don't quite know the exact number because I feel like I've lost it. Like I kept saying, oh, it's been almost 10 years, but it's been more than 10 years. So it's almost 20, I'm pretty sure. And the fact that it's finally going to have a physical copy in my hand is amazing. I didn't think I was gonna get emotional. Wow. To go from a Word document on my computer for 20 years to holding something in my hand is gonna be the craziest feeling, because for years it's just been me reading the same words over and over, but you guys are gonna read it now, and I'm so freaking stoked. I'm nervous because y'all might hate it. I don't know. This is very scary, working on something your entire life a story and characters that have gotten you through dark places and putting in the hands of other people. You're either gonna love it, and I'm probably gonna have haters. I just have to accept that. I'm gonna have people who are gonna read it and be like, this sucked. But I'm hopefully gonna have people who love it too. And that's scary. I mean, it's just like when I do theater. I do a show, and some people are gonna hate my performance, and some people are gonna love it. But with a book, this is part of my soul that I'm putting in your hands. So it's really scary, but also thrilling at the same time. And I'm so excited. So I don't have any word on when it's going to be released yet. We're still at the editing phase. But as soon as I know, you guys will know. As I told all my friends and family, once I know anything, I will be telling y'all. Trust me, I will not stop screaming it. It's my whole personality now. Here are some things I do know though. The first book is getting cut in half, so it was a very long book. I actually acknowledged this a couple years ago, even to Jess. I said, I'm probably gonna have to cut this in half, but I don't know where. My editor told me kind of where to split it because I don't think I can do it on my own. So it'll be part 1 and part 2 instead of one full book. Hopefully down the road I can do like an author's edition where it's like the full book in one, like the full experience. And then I'm actually working on the sequel, which might get split as well. I just happened to be writing the sequel in a book 1, book 2 format. I just saw it as one full book, but just like split into 2 parts. So that might get split into 2, I have no idea. Pretty soon, you will be able to read part 1 of the Snook Saga, which is really, really cool. Thank you, Gold Dust, for believing in me and for taking this to the next stage. I'm so excited, and I still honestly can't believe it. If you keep telling me it, and I'll keep pinching myself, it might eventually sink in. I think once I get the books in my hands, then it's gonna really sink in, and I'm probably gonna freaking cry like I am right now. Okay, anyway, I'm very excited. I hope you guys love it. Again, thank you, Gold Dust, for being part of this journey. And I just want to end this video with a couple of the responses I got when I called my friends and family with the news. Most importantly, my grandma, because I didn't know if I was going to have this kind of announcement to tell her before something happened. So I'm very grateful that this timing worked out. I'm so grateful, because it could not have worked out this way. I could have had it not happen. So I just want to close this video with a couple of those reactions because they made my heart swell, and I hope that I just feel like it's a good ending, so enjoy. Grandma?
Molly?
Grandma?
What?
Hi, I have some really big news to tell you.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm like really nervous. You know how I was writing a book?
Yeah?
Well, it's gonna get published.
Really?
Yeah.
Exciting!
It's gonna happen.
Okay, which book is this now?
It's the fantasy one.
The one that you started way back when you were
Yeah, it's been almost 20 years.
That's been revised and revised and revised.
Yeah, it's like 16 years.
But really, this got me thinking. We're always having authors at our library. So maybe we can do an author thing for you.
That would be so awesome, because I love your library and I have so many memories there. I don't know if Dad's told you anything.
I'm nervous now. No.
You know how I was writing a book?
Did you get it published?
Yeah, I just signed a contract.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god, with who?
It's a local publishing company. So yeah, it's gonna happen.
What the fuck? Wait, so, how does this process, when do we,
Do you remember how I was writing a book?
Oh, did you get it published?
I signed a contract to get it published.
Yeah! For just the first one or all 3?
So it's for 3 books. They're splitting the first book into 2 because of how long it is. And then I'm writing...
That's so exciting. So cool. You're gonna be a public... Wait, what's the, timeline? That's so cool. That's so exciting, Mom. I
Yeah.
cannot believe it. What's the title?
Well, the title that I originally had for, forever, I started to, like, second guess it, like, because the word mystery was in it, and it's not a mystery book. Like, it's a fantasy book, and I was worried that wouldn't sell right. So, since it's getting split in two, I've been thinking, like, okay, how do I, like, tie it together? And I came up with the idea for the series to be called the Snook Saga, because that's, I don't know if Sarah...
I like that. That's really cute.
Thank you.
It sounds, like, very mythical. I like it.
Because even though the, like, main human character doesn't go further on in the series, like, his descendants do, and Snook lives throughout the whole thing, so it's, like, his story, right?
Are they only 2 books?
No, it's a whole series, so right now it's just for the first book split in 2 and the sequel, and then we'll, you know, as that happens, we'll reconvene and do the next one. I'm starting it. I started writing it while I was submitting over the past couple of years, like, as a distraction, because I was like, well...
So they, like, wanted a sequel without even knowing what the sequel was going to be about? That's so cool.
Yeah, I told him at the meeting, I said, I'm already working on the sequel, and he's like, oh, great, and then in the contract it said for 3 books, so, yeah, the sequel is
That's so exciting.
already booked.